So this trick is pretty simple, but the end effect is really good and has a lot of moves in here that you guys are going to need to learn. So let's say you could have the spectator shuffle up the deck, and then what you could do is you could tell them, let's say we take the top card, in this case the 5 of clubs, you tell them you're going to take the 5, put it into the middle, and you show them that you don't really know exactly where it is. It's somewhere in there. And at this point you tell them, okay, go ahead and cut the deck, and then you go ahead and mark that cut so you can leave the deck like that. And you can tell the spectator, you know what, they shuffled the cards, you went ahead, you pick the top card, you put it anywhere in the middle, and the spectator cut exactly. Even though we did all that, the spectator cut exactly to their chosen card. So this is a video, guys. Hope you guys like it. And if you want to learn how to do it, don't forget to stick around for the tutorial. Alright, so like I said, it was really basic. For all you beginners out there, this shouldn't really look too intimidating. This move is only made up of really two sleights, and they're pretty easy, and you can use these in a lot of different tricks. So to begin, the first thing you want to do is you could have the spectator shuffle up a borrowed deck or anything. They could shuffle it up, and at this point, all you have to do is get a double lift tail. So essentially what you're doing is, instead of flipping over one card when you're doing the trick, you're actually going to be flipping over 2 cards to make it look like you're flipping over 1. And like I said, this video is directed towards beginners, so when you first do the double lift, don't be discouraged that it's going to look really sloppy, because it takes a while to get it to look smooth like that. So the whole premise, okay, a quick tip for when you do the double lift is you can take the 2 cards and you can leave them out jogged a little bit in the back and then pick it there. And now once you do the double lift, you can take it and take their card, in this case the jack of diamonds. When you do your double lift, you're putting that 10 or that indifferent card into the middle, and their card is still going to be on top. So at this point, their selected card, whatever it's going to be, is still going to be on top of the deck. So that way when you have them, you say, look, I have no breaks, I have no idea where the card is. And what you want to do is, if you know how to shuffle cards, you can keep that selected card on top by ending the riffle with your right hand. So that's a little bit more advanced, even though it's kind of beginner just for you guys. The whole thing here is the card stays on top, and then what you do is when you cut the cards, you're going to tell the spectator, okay, cut the cards anywhere you like. You move the card pack over to the right, or whatever the spectator does. You take the bottom half of the packet and you tilt it, and you put it on top of the other packet, and the top card is going to be right there. So that's kind of how the trick works. And then when you place the bottom packet on top of the top, you kind of misdirect them, and you kind of go over, recap the trick. This way the spectator kind of has time to forget about the placement of these decks. So if you kind of misdirect them, talk to them a little bit about how they shuffle the deck, how you place the card in the middle, and then shuffle the cards again, they're going to kind of forget that this here is the top card. And if you do convincingly, they're not going to guess it, second guess it anyway. So that is pretty much the trick. Okay, so you cut the cards, you leave it on top to mark the cut, flip over the top card, and this is the trick, guys.
So here's what the trick looks like. I'm gonna just get around half of the pack, it does not really matter, and I'll just use these cards. And right now I'll give these cards a bit of a mix-up, so they're in random order. I'll place some on top, place some on bottom, place some on top, and place some on bottom. And the spectator could do this as well, he can shuffle the pack, but just to make it completely random, some cards go on top, some cards go on bottom, and I'll give the deck one more cut. Actually, I'll just keep cutting until the spectator is satisfied, and if the spectator won, he can cut it himself, he can just mix these cards up a bit, and let's say spectator is satisfied right now. So I'll just give the deck a one last cut to make sure everything is random. Now I'll deal down 9 cards. So just like that, 9 cards in any random order, and the spectator can either say no or yes as I go through these cards. So let's say spectator says no for the first one. He said no again for the second one. He said yes for the third one. So take the third card face up. He said yes again. He said no. He said no. He said yes. He said yes. And he said no. Okay, and these 2 cards, I'll just throw them out of here. And let's look at these cards. The 5 and a 4, no match. A 6 and a 5, no match. A 9 and a 6, no match. A 10 and a 9, no match. A 3 and a 10. Absolutely nothing between those cards, no connection, absolutely whatsoever. But you could have said yes anytime. You shuffle the cards. You could have cut the cards. But look, the card you said yes to, the red 8, turns to the black 8. The black ace, the red ace. The black 2, I need a mat. A red 2. And finally, the red 7, the black 7. The spectator could have shuffled, spectator could have cut, said yes anytime, said no anytime, but they actually found perfect match 4 times. So that is the trick, and here is the tutorial for the trick. So here is the tutorial for the trick. So later I'll teach you guys how to shuffle the pack in a way to make this trick work, how to do the yes or no thing, and how to let the spectator shuffle the pack. So before I start, here's the setup. So this is gonna be your deck, and as I said, this is my favorite opener trick, so this is probably not gonna be a trick I end with or go in the middle, because I usually have the setup on top. And so the setup is black, ace to 10, and the red ace to 10. You can do it in one suit, so you can say ace to 10 in all clubs and ace to 10 in all hearts. But because I just varied it a bit, so it makes it look more random. So spades, club, diamond, hearts, diamond, hearts. It doesn't really matter as long as you have ace to 10. And remember, if you put the you have to make it in the specific order, or you can reverse both pile. So 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this pile has to be in that order as well. So, but this is the pile I like to have it, and usually when I start the trick, I just put this on top, and I look through the pile just randomly, and I catch a break, and I just break it off, and my trick is good to go. So you're only going to use the top 20 cards, your ace to king, ace to 10 from both colors. So now you'll give the deck a shuffle, but this is very important because if you don't shuffle correctly, the whole trick is gonna be messed up. So this is how you do the shuffle. You're gonna bring some cards over here. You're gonna use your pinky to push off some cards from the bottom, put it on top. Use your thumb to push up some cards from the top, put it on bottom. Do it again, pinky, some cards off the bottom, put it on top. Do the same until you run out of cards. And then you can do it once again if the spectator looks suspicious. So take some cards, use your pinky, break off some cards, put on top, some cards on bottom, some cards on top, some cards on bottom, some cards on top, some cards on bottom. I'll go over this one more time just to make sure you understand it. Take the top card. So first you're gonna break the top card. So it's just gonna be over here. Then use your pinky to push off some bottom card, put it on top. Push off some top card, put it on bottom. Push off some bottom card, put it on top of the pile. Do the same until all the cards are done. So basically what you have right now is, you're not going to have 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but you're going to have this. You're going to have the ace to 10 in the middle, and the red ace is going to be like 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10. So that's okay. And you can give the deck a few cuts. Remember, the spectator should not riffle shuffle, so you can just ask the spectator to cut the cards anywhere. You can do a Charlie or you can do a Revolution, it does not really matter. And now the deck is not mixed up more, it's just still this, but this time it's ace 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is on this side. So the size doesn't matter, it's just make sure you have the order correct. So now, since it doesn't matter, you're just going to deal down 9 cards. And this part you could honestly let the spectator do, because some spectator, they question if you have some like advanced sleight of hand, Hogwarts thingamajiggies. So now I'm going to tell you guys how to do this part. So if the spectator say no, you're basically like, oh sir, just deal the top card down. If he says yes, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do a wrist kill, meaning turn your wrist. And as you're doing this, you're going to use your thumb to push it down. So as you're doing it, push it down. You're not going to take this card and put it up. Instead, when you push it down, you're going to take this card. So I'll do it in the exposed view, okay? So take the second to top card. And make sure you slide this card down so you can take the second to top card up. So let's say spectator say no, just take the top card, put it face down. Spectator say yes. Remember, use your thumb, push down the top card. Do a wrist kill. Then take the second from top, deal it down. Say yes. Let's say he say yes again. Say no. Say no. And the final 2 cards, they can just go anywhere. It does not really matter. And you're just gonna reveal first that the ones he said no to, there's absolutely no connection between them. And the ones he said yes to, he actually found the perfect soulmates. I mean, the same number to each and every one of them. So that is the trick. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure you guys comment something down below.
Alright, so to start off the trick, the spectator can shuffle up the deck, and they can even pick their own cards. So let's say they pick one from the middle. And now in this case, I don't really want to look at it, so let's go ahead. I'll show you guys your card, so make sure you guys can remember it. And let's say we get it lost into the middle of the deck. As you guys can see, I have no breaks. I'll cut up the deck a little bit, get the cards mixed up. And then from here, let's say I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to go ahead and look through the deck looking for your cards. So in this case, let's say I take your card, which should be the Queen of Spades. I'm going to make it invisible, and I'm going to let you hold on to it. Now, I want you to pick a number, let's say 1 through 52, and let's say you wanted to pick a number like 13. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, in the 13th position, this should not be your card, because obviously your card is still invisible. So go ahead and place your invisible card back on here, and let's go ahead and redo the count. So now your card should be, if I snap my fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In the 13th position, we should have your card, the Queen of Spades. So this is a trick, guys, and if you want to do it, don't forget to stick around for the tutorial. Alright, so the good thing about this trick is that you can use any deck of cards, it can be borrowed, and you can have the spectator mix it up as well. So to start it off, let's say the spectator could go through and they could really pick any card that they want to. And now what you're doing as they pick that card is you're just looking at the bottom card, in this case, the King of Hearts, and you're getting yourself a key card. So go ahead, remember the bottom card, and the spectator looks at theirs. In this case, they have the 8 of Spades. So you don't know what their card is yet, but what you do is you tell them you're going to mix it up. So you leave their 8, or whatever their card is, on top, and say, let's go ahead and lose it in the middle. So you cut the deck, leaving their key card directly above their card, and you can say, go ahead and mix up the deck a little bit, cut it up, and you only let them cut the deck in half. This way the card won't get separated with the key card. So then you take the deck yourself, you look at it, the spectator's not going to be seeing it, and you're going through looking for that key card, the King of Hearts. So you go through, you find the king. Now what you want to do here is cut the deck so that your key card ends up at the bottom. So you cut the deck, your key card goes to the bottom. You know their card is the 8 of Spades. You flip the deck back over, and now you kind of put it down. The spectator has not seen anything. So at this point, their card's going to be on top, and you say, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's make your card the 8 of Spades invisible. And at this point, the spectator is going to be kind of amazed because you already do know their card, and you say it's going to be invisible, and you say, go ahead and hold on to it for me. And then at this point you say, I want you to pick a number 1 through 52. Now, as you say that, you say, look, I want you to pick a number 1 through 52. You kind of just misdirect the spectators, counting off 3 cards just like this. So their card's going to be on top. You count off 3 cards, put it back into a pinky break, and at this point the spectator should have picked a number, and if you want to, you can tell them to pick one that is 1 through 26, just so you don't have to count out so many cards, or you can give them an option like 5 through 26, because you don't really want them picking any number like 2 or 3 or 1. So let's say they were to pick 7. So what you do is you actually deal off the top card. So you have a 3-card break, you actually deal off the top card. This is a single card, and this is theirs. You place that to the bottom. You say that's 1 card, and then you go to the break, grabbing 2 cards. You say 2. So you count this 2-card packet as 1. So you say 1, 2, and you just drop it on top. So this way the cards don't really separate. You have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you stop to one number below the card or the number they pick. So in this case, they pick 7. So you say, look, now this is the 7th card, or this is the card in the 7th position, and as you can see, it's not yours because obviously yours is invisible. So go ahead, place your invisible card on the deck. They can place their invisible card back in here. You pick up the cards from the table, put it back on top, and you say, okay, let's try this again. So then from here, you can really count 7 cards, or you can have the spectators do it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in the 7th position, it should be their card. So this is a trick, guys. I hope you guys like it, and as always, thanks for watching.